Surprisingly, I'm keeping up, although remembering this stuff is going to be the typical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, like
That's why I'm making a video out of this. Hopefully,
Let's
it
go
will be.
recap video.
Hello, welcome on in everybody. We're here with fadelessword, Emperor Nix, RosettaVtuber, RLCell, and we're going to be doing some UE5 game dev today. We've got some that are experienced and not experienced, so we're going to be doing our best to go slowly with this all. So for the starting off, we're just going to, we've already learned how to just move around in the environment and just be able to, get to places and, see where things are. Just see if you want to test the big green play button. There's a big green play button in the top right that'll let you play the game in the window and lets you move around. This is it could be okay, so it could be an issue with streaming at the same time. So in the settings button up the top right, there should be scalability settings. It's a little bit down. Engine scalability settings. Just check that onto like medium or even low.
I'm glad I'm buying a new PC.
Okay. Hopefully it'll be all good as long as you're able to look around in the environment.
Where are the Easter eggs? I gotta find them. What's the lore of this place?
Oh,
You gotta do the Konami code.
Yeah, I gotta. Where are the item descriptions? I'm a FromSoft gamer. I need item descriptions.
Hopefully you'll be able to still follow along and it'll be all good. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Start the lesson. You've got the content browser. You can see the little hierarchy structure you've got there. You've got the characters, level prototyping. These are all just the starter stuff that comes with the level, and you want to look for third person. So if you scroll down on that thing, you want to look for third person, and then into blueprints, and then you want to double click that first one, which is this is your character, everything that it is. You can either and you can dock these into the so if you grab the little tab and then you dock it like it's a window, and you can dock it next to the third person map. Up the top left. So you want to be on the right exact same line. That way it'll be there like that. This is what it is. It's a container. Your character is a little container where all the code goes into this little container for your character. There's ways that you can talk to each other container. This is how you do your moving around. It's set up automatically by Unreal. When you want to do some of your own inputs, you got to go to the project settings. So if you go up the top left where it says edit and you go project settings, you can either dock it or whatever you feel like doing, and then you'll want to look for the inputs tab. Should be there.
There it is.
You have to scroll it a little bit down just to find the input. Yep. And so you've got two. You've got the axis and action. Action is a singular press of a button, so like you're pressing spacebar to jump. Whereas an axis mapping is like it's got degrees of like 0 to 1 on how it's being pressed. Like it'll give you like increments. So how like a trigger on a controller has like give. That's the 0 to 1 axis of that, or even a joystick. Joystick's got like little increments of numbers to add to the movement.
Say a joystick has like -1 and +1 for like X and Y's.
Basically, yeah. That's entirely what a controller really is. Yeah, of what joystick is. That's what the axis is. It covers the increments, whereas action's just a bam. So what you want to do is click on that little plus next to the action mapping. You want to name that. You're going to name that attack. This is how you're going to attack things. And
does capitalization matter here?
Not here. There are some times where I'm going to say it matters. Are you guys familiar with camel casing? The term? Camel casing is when you do say attack button, you'll start the next one with a capital B, but you won't put a space in there. That's what camel casing is. So it's making a sentence that is just all without spaces. It's good for like when doing files systems, or it's like if you're putting an underscore but it's just you put a capital instead, and you can expand it, and then you've got your buttons. If you put in like left mouse button as a input, you could type it out, or you can go to the left mouse, the mouse thing. It covers a lot of game pads, and if you wanted to put like another input in there, say like you wanted to have controller support, you'd just add an extra plus next to that attack, and then you would add an extra button or gameput, or whatever you want to do. So like if it's a gamepad, you'd have like base button down if you wanted it to be like an A on an Xbox controller or an X on a PlayStation controller. That's how it covers multiple gamepads.
Do you need to save, or
When you're changing stuff in the project settings, as you're changing it, it's basically saving it. Okay, sorry, never mind, I was absolutely wrong. We do want to be actually back in the project settings. My bad. I was just giving you guys practice on how to get to the project settings. Okay, so you're looking for the project settings collision tab. You're looking for the collision one. This is how you can differentiate collisions. So like if you want one thing to, be affected by a hit versus another, so like an enemy versus an ally, you want to, stick these ones here. So in here, you'll go for a new trace channel, and you will name that enemy and change the default response to ignore. Object is basically the same. It's if you're going to be like using object specifically. This is a new trace channel is just for like it's a little bit more generalized, so we're doing that one instead.
Wait, it's like ignore, right?
Yeah, ignore, because we don't want everyone to activate this. We want them to just be the enemy that gets hit by this. This will come along later once we get to that point, so we can actually close that part now. First, let's go to the content browser. In so the content browser is that little window that you got down the bottom, and you want to.
It's already tapped.
You might want to keep it there just for how, because you want to be able to drag stuff into the scenery sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to right click that content browser, yeah, so these are all the different blueprints you can make. Fade, not the actual, sorry, the background part. Yeah, so these are different like blueprints and whatnot that we can make. We're looking for the blueprint section where it says blueprint, and we want the blueprint interface. So we're naming this enemy interface.
How do I rename it? I might have.
So you go back to your content browser, and then right click and you should be able to rename, and you'll double click it to go into it. So you've got that new function. Yeah, you want to name that new function affect health. Yeah, so you press the little inputs on the bottom right area. That'll give you a little red boolean, but we want to change that. We want to make it. We're gonna right click that boolean. Not right click. So we'll just click that. Sorry. Are you going to the inputs down the bottom right? Yeah, you want to do the plus.
Oh, okay.
This is. Oh. And then you want to change that into an integer. These are all the different types of variables that you can make. For now, we want an integer. An integer is well, I don't specifically know what 64 is, but an integer is like a whole number, whereas a float is like got the incremental, like the point. So 0.1 is a float. 1 or 0 will be an integer. It rounds up or rounds down.
64 probably just refers to the bit amount, so integer is probably 32-bit, and 64 might be 64-bit.
Yeah, I think because there is a limit to, I believe, how much an integer can be. It's like 2,400,000,000. It's some big number that it like caps out on. Okay, so we're gonna name that damage value. So it's named a damage value, but we can actually use this as a healing as well with math. So
Math.
we can yes. Now we're going to compile and save that. So big thing about thing we're going to teach you right now is up the top left where it says compile. It's got a yellow thing. We want to compile and save with a little save icon to the left of that, because there are times where you want to compile in order to make it so that other blueprints understand that's the state that one's in. So if you want to talk to that one, you've got to be able to compile and save and keep everything saved, because if you crash, you'll have to redo things. Close that, and you want to right click the enemy interface that you just made and duplicate it. Or I believe you can just use Control D, and you want to call this one player interface. We're just keeping the two separate so that it'll still have the same effect of what it's doing, but we just want to have two different ones just to have them for the player and for the enemy. They're doing, you don't want to hit an ally, I guess you guys don't fully know what an interface is yet, but we can do that now. Well, we can get into that. we want to go to the third person character. Yes. We're gonna go to double click and go into the third person character, and in the back of the background, you want to hit right click, and you want to. This brings up your search of all the different things, and you're searching for attack. Off of attack, off of the pressed, you want to type in box trace, and you don't want to do it. So you drag off of it, and then you let go, and then it brings it up, and then you can type in box trace, but you don't want to use the multi-box trace. You want to just do the regular box trace. So box trace by channel. We've all got the things. If you're doing multi-box, that's about attacking multiple enemies and affecting all of them, but for this we're doing just regular box trace. Okay, where it says trace channel, select the channel that you made, the enemy channel, and that where it says draw debug type, I like to change it for to duration, because it's gonna show you the trace that you're creating as you're as you're testing. If you click on the little viewport tab where it's next to event graph in the top left-ish area, you want the viewport. Okay, there we go. This is your character. This is the visuals of everything here. You want to, and you've got your little component list on the left side there. That's where like you've got your mesh, your character movement, all this little stuff that like control. It's all this pre-built stuff that comes with the character blueprint. And you want to hit that little add button on the left side. Yes, sorry. there are. Yeah, that's the adding a component. Sorry. Yes, it's add component, not add variable or function or anything like. You want to add an arrow component. So if you just type arrow, it'll give you a little arrow.
Can we raise the arrow? I don't feel comfortable where it's at.
Yeah, exactly what you're supposed to do right now. Adjust it to be in front of the character. So if you want to grab the blue one to go up, these are your XYZ things that I was talking about. How everything's like, this is the 3D space and how it moves about.
Does it have to be on the head or the chest?
It can be anywhere, just as long as it's like, it could have been where it was. I'm just showing you how to like move stuff around. It could have been there, Kobo. It could have. You could make your own games in your own time with that kind of mechanic. Back to the event graph, next to the viewpoint, just right from the viewport. So if you're wanting to not go to the tab, it's also got it on the left side where it says graphs. It says event graph. That's another way you can do it. You can just double click that and it'll take you over there. That's how you can move around a little bit easier, So you've made your arrow. You want to drag that arrow onto the thing. So you grab it on the click, grab, and then you move it onto the thing. It's fine. It doesn't need to be named right now. And you are gonna want to put it like just before that trace, because we're gonna do the math on how to like shoot something out in front of us. Off of the look arrow. Whenever I say off of, I'm implying to click the little, press the little blue circle and then drag off and then release. That's what I mean by off of. And that way it'll bring up the search box.
Like that? Oh, okay.
Yep. And then you want to get world location. Grab the return value of that and plug it into the start of the box trace by channel. This is where your thing is going to be starting. Off of that look arrow, you also want to do a get forward vector.
Wait, where's the look arrow?
So
Sorry.
One?
That. Oh. I guess I did name it. I did name it. I lied apparently. Apparently, I called it the look arrow. So if you did want to name it to look arrow, or if you understand what I'm doing, you want to drag off of that and get a get forward vector. So you can't just plug that into the end and say it's done. You got to do the math. So off of the forward vector, you're gonna want to type in multiply, or you can use the asterisk
Where do you put this?
symbol. So it's okay where it is. You just want to go off of the return value.
Oh, so just do
and do multiply, or you can do the asterisk, which is multiply. And this is what I do now because they changed how certain things work. So off of the multiply, you're gonna do an add. No, sorry, Fade. You not off of the B. You want to do it off of the end point of that multiply. Now, where you've got the multiplier, you want it on that B little. You've got your A and your B. on the B pin, you want to right click it and change it to a single float precision. Not the add, you want to change the multiplier.
What do you mean by A and B?
Like
Okay,
top
so-
and bottom?
Yes, sorry. Of the multiplier, you've got the top part, which is A, on the left side, and then you've got the bottom part, which is B. Not the
Oh,
one on the
left
right.
side. Okay.
Yeah, so where it's got the
Oh.
XYZ number, that's your B pin, and then the top part is the A part, and that's how you're multiplying A by B.
Okay.
So what?
So you
which
wanna-
one did we want to fiddle with real quick?
You want to fiddle with the B part, so you want to right click the B part and change it to a single float precision. The reason why we do it this way, because before you could just do it normally and then go straight into an add, but now whenever I do it and then I go into the add, it changes it back to a vector. It's annoying. I don't like it. I don't know why they changed it to be that way. It's just weird things. Okay, so now you got your number. This is you're gonna type in 100 into that little thing. This is basically how far out you're shooting your trace. Like when you're shooting out a trace, it's gonna shoot out 100 units. That's or however many you dictate to shooting this out. Because if it's a gun, you want to just go really far, you know. Then you want to drag. So when you've got your get world location, you want to drag that off of that again. Off of the return value, and plug that into the A result. Sorry, the add B pin of the add. Sorry, I'm flopping my words. We all look like we're good actually. Yep, we're all good. Everyone's good, and then you want to plug that return value of the add into the end, because this is basically multiplying the location of the world where the start is to where the end should be, and that's how the math works for the trace. Where it says half size, you want to just change those all to 50, like the XYZ all to 50 on the trace channel. You can use tab to like go between the different sections as well. This is just how big this trace is going to be. It's 50 by 50 by 50. Cool. We are up to... Okay, so where it says out hit on the trace channel, type in get break hit result, or it should be there already. Break hit result.
Wait, where?
Either it's there... It should
Oh,
be like...
out hit?
Yeah, on the out hit, you go break hit
Okay.
result. And that'll give you, and you want to expand that little arrow on it. This gives you all the different ways that you can hit something.
Oh.
Off of the hit actor, then you're gonna type in affect health.
What was it?
Enemy or player?
Enemy. And you type in
Enemy.
affect or effect health, and change that damage value to a 1
Oh, mine's at a 10.
or 10, whichever.
Wait, sorry. What did I do after hit actor?
Affect health.
That's one.
Oh, I don't see that.
And it needs to be the message of the enemy. You got it there. So if you look there, it says enemy effect. You've only got it as effect function. You've named it effect function instead of
did
effect
I?
health.
Oh.
Yeah. What you want to do is, because you've connected it by what you want it to hit and whatnot, but you've got to connect that little triangle together. So we're off of the triangle on the left side of the effect health. You grab that and chuck that into the triangle on the box trace. So you're trying to
The
connect.
triangle?
Yes, Fade. They got it.
Oh. Okay.
And Nick's got it, and then you connect. So where it's got the little blue out hit, there's a little triangle above that. You want to connect it to that one,
Wait, where did I put this one?
into the triangle that's above the out hit. So go a little bit left, and into there. This is the execution path. So like, it's going to execute through this direction as it's going through these things, as it's going through the code. I'm starting to think there may be 2 sessions for this, because I wrote down 11 minutes for this section. Maybe we won't get through everything, but
Holy crap, we're already 40 minutes in!
yeah, we're learning.
Time
Okay,
flies.
so
Let's have
remember the green button, the green play button. Give that a press,
Yeah.
and you can
Should we
go
compile and save first?
Yeah, sorry, always compile and save.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should compile and save, but
I'm
to
gonna
avoid
do the-
crashes, it's best to do it yourself. So you hit the play, and then you can press the left click, and you'll go around creating little boxes.
Only one box.
Oh,
if I hit.
Yeah. So yeah, if this is what the you remember how I told you about access versus action? Action does it once. If it was access, it would basically be firing it off always, and you have to create a way to like stop it from firing off always. And while we're using the action just for the
So my
click,
game
click,
is
click
moving
back.
as well. That's a first.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
it's
if you kept it on the whole time, you could make something like the Tron games where you have the light thing behind you and it does damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damage trails.
Yeah,
Ah.
definitely. If you were firing it off, like continuously, this is for
Ah.
collision. Yes, this is for how you. This is the box traced by channel has been marked to affect enemies when they are hit with damage. So that rotation earlier on that box trace was something that you can do. Is you grab the rotation of your look arrow and plug that in so that your if you notice it's always facing the same direction. Your little box when at the very end, it's never like in the direction of where you're facing. If you wanted to have it so that it like was, you know, just a square outwards always, you'd do the rotation as well in your look at your thing. So you'd get the so you'd drag off of your look arrow component and you'd world rotation, and then you'd plug that into the orientation.
And that just works now?
And if you go in and test it, you'll see the difference. Yeah. So you'll notice now that like when you're firing off your traces, it follows where you're pointing, not and it's not just sticking
Tron,
to the
baby!
same direction
Yeah!
no matter where you are.
Like mine is.
Yeah, like me.
I was smart.
Wow.
I was gonna say that you can do it like that. Okay, might as well get into it. Off of the look arrow, you can do get world transform, and that you'd split that one, and that gives you both the location and the rotation. But I just didn't think it was gonna be. I don't think I was gonna cover that, but it's fine. We want to go to the content browser when everyone's Gucci. So yeah, like on the browser where all the everything's stored, and you want to right click your character, and you want to duplicate it. So then you want to name this enemy BP, enemy underscore BP, or enemy BP. I like to like whenever so BP stands for blueprint. Sometimes you can put it before it, so you do BP enemy. Either way, which it organizes things differently depending on how you know where you want it to be. Because if you want it to be like enemy BP and then you want an enemy UI, all the enemy stuff would be in the same spot because it's all starting with enemy. Versus if you wanted to have all your blueprints together, you'd have blueprints, blah blah blah, and then UI, blah blah blah, depending on what your preference is. You want to double click to open that, and you want to delete everything that you see in that event graph.
Everything?
Everything, yes.
Including the stuff we just made?
Yes. We don't need that. We're not having the enemy do anything right now. Okay, so then you want to go to the viewport tab where you put the arrow in. All that stuff in here. All good. Okay, and then you want to click on the actual character itself, and on the right you've got all the different details of the character, and you'll see just under there's the materials tab, and you've got two different materials. This is how you change the character, and I thought I'd mention the hex material. That's my favorite material to use. So you can search for them or just change for whatever.
Kyle or Pulse are either?
Either or. Pulse is fancy because it has a little glowing effect, but this is how you can change the textures and the materials. I love the hex style. It's just a fancy hex thing. That's cool. That's how you change your materials. Where it says class settings above the viewport event graph tabs and all that, you want to look for class settings. Yep, you want to click on the class settings. You want to look for interface in there, and you want to go to the add part, and you want to search enemy, and it should be your enemy interface. Now you can implement those events. That's how you say, we sent a message out with our trace. So whenever it hits something, hits an actor, it will have a response to that actor if it has the enemy interface with the effect. Or it has the enemy interface, and then it will execute effect health. So our effect health is doing nothing right now because we haven't actually really done that yet. On the left side where it says interfaces, on the little in the components variables tab on the left side, it should say effect health. Yeah, it's on the left side underneath my blueprint section. So if you scroll down a little bit, Cobra, you can see effect function. You want to right click that and go implement.
I am struggling to see where did I miss something.
You're right next to it. You're right, just a little bit down. Effect
Oh, the effect health.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
then what
So
do I
you're
do?
right clicking and hitting implement event. Drag off of that damage value. Promote to variable. So drag off of there. Drag off the damage value.
Yeah.
Yep. Let go. And then where it says promote to variable.
Oh, right. I
Yeah,
was looking
okay.
at that. Okay.
Okay. So where it says damage value, you can change that to current health, and then that's one way to create variable. The other way is to press the little plus next to the variables. That's just there as well. So if you go to the left side, and where it says variables, there's a little plus icon just next to the actual section. Just a little bit up. There we go. There. And we got. You see it, Cobra?
Right. No.
On the left side,
That's
where it
I
says
was still-
variables. Variables. Yep.
Variable.
Yep.
Oh,
There's a
here,
little plus
here.
icon on the right side of that.
Oh,
That's how you create
yeah.
another variable. So you want
Okay.
to name that one maximum health.
Oh, my brain is so fried right now.
Yeah, I can
I
feel
know
my
we're now
brain.
in, but it's super fried.
There may be a part 2 video.
Alright.
We may have the part 2 of this, but we'll get through what we can, and we'll go as slow as we need to.
Should it be a boolean?
I'm assuming
or-
No,
the maximum health is supposed
what's
to be an
it supposed to
integer
be?
as well.
Exactly. That's
It's a-
that's how you can change that. So it usually defaults. Sometimes defaults to creating a boolean. So you want to change it to an integer.
No
Integer.
boolean.
Okay,
We're not
a little
boolean here.
integer.
Click the current health variable on the left side.
The left.
Yep.
Current
Oh.
health.
Right.
Current health. And you want to basically click it and drag it onto the event graph. And when it mentions get or set, you want to get. And we're good.
I should delete this.
We're good. We're good. Okay. We're good. Okay. Right. Okay, we're good. Good. Off of that one, you're doing a subtract. With how it is right now, damage value being plugged into current health, that's just going to set the current health to whatever the damage value is, so it's not going to do any damage. I think it's Alt and left clicking the disconnect it. You want to disconnect the set current health, and then you want to plug the subtract into the current health. So the right side of the subtract into the current set health, and then you want to plug that damage value into the subtract.
B?
Into the
Alright, so-
into the B.
Okay.
This is saying it's going to set the current health to whatever the current health is minus whatever the damage is. So if 10 is the health and 1 is coming in, it's going to set it to 9.
So what's the difference between the A and B?
If you were to plug the damage value into the top, that's like saying its HP is whatever the damage is, and then you're minusing
Oh,
it
so
by
input,
whatever the
output.
current HP is. So yeah, that's how you do that. You plug that into the set current health. That's setting it. We talked briefly on booleans before. We want to press the B key, hold on to the B key, and then you want to left click the event graph. That creates a branch. So we've got our little branch here. You want to connect those little triangles up.
So where does the branch go at the end?
Yes, at the very end, and you want to connect the set current health to the branch.
The triangles, I'm assuming?
Yes, triangles. That's your execution path. And so a boolean is you've got your true or false. You know redstone. A redstone's got an on and off. That's a boolean. Minecraft.
Single keys, Minecraft.
That's a boolean. You've got your true and your false. This is your simplest gateway of like what. This is binary. 0 or 1. 0, 1. It's binary.
You're speaking my language.
What's this icon mean?
If you right click and type custom event, and that's what adds a custom event. Think of that like the same as what you just made with that function there, the effect health thing, but the little symbol tells you it's coming from an interface. So same thing basically, but when you create an interface, you're creating functions that can apply to lots of different things. If you wanted to play this interface to another blueprint, you can reuse these things without having to like custom event, effect health, blah blah blah, having to go through the same thing again and again each time you wanted to do that sort of thing. So you create a little library of them from the interface. And that's how you do it. That's the difference between what we've done and what a custom event is. There are even event dispatchers. If you look at the bottom left, it says event dispatchers. There's similar ways to do what we've done there, but I prefer to do interfaces myself. So we have the branch. It's currently set to true. You see a little tick that's next to the kitchen. It's currently set to true, so it's always going to fire true right now. We want to drag off of that the little red circle, and we need to do a less than equals, not a less than.
Oh.
Ask me knows how to do these things and writes these things out in a way that I understand, but like currently is struggling to understand me. Ask me. You want to plug the A pin of that into the current health, top of the set current health, where it's got that little green circle on the right side. You want to plug the top pin of the less than, and there you go. You got it. It's going to be saying if it's 0 or lower, you edge off of the true. The true execute.
So we need to get rid of the enemy now or something?
It's effectively what we're doing. It's what we're doing. We want to type in destroy actor. You could do it off the false if you really wanted to, but then the damage values wouldn't mean anything. It'd be going off of a hit. So whenever you're destroying an enemy, it's just gonna hit and go through this little. It's gonna go through this little bit of code here, and if it reaches, if say that the current health reaches 0. It's going to destroy it, which is what we want. You want to go off of the subtract node. At the moment, if you were to send in a negative value of 5 through the damage value, that would actually heal it by 5. So the current health could become over the maximum health, and you don't want that. You want to be able to give it the values between like 0 and 10 of what you want their HP level to be. So we're trying to clamp that off by drag with the subtraction node. It's the minus, the subtract. You want to off of the right side of the circle. Oh wait, it's going to be replacing the other one. You want to type in clamp. You remember how to drag and drop the maximum health to get it? You want to get.
Is it get or set?
You want to get into the maximum. That way, it's never going to go higher than whatever the maximum is of whatever's coming in, and it's never going to be lower than 0. If you want to, keep it that way. You don't want to go into, I don't know why you want to go into negative values with an HP, but it could be an overkill function or mechanic or something, but...
A bleed out function. This is Call of Duty.
Almost. Off of the clamp integer, you go from the return value into the set current health. Not that one.
Oh, the other side.
Yep. That way, it's going to be setting it between those maximum. It's never going to go be higher or lower than whatever the maximum is.
How do I make it look good?
Yeah, well, it's so ugly right now.
So you just want to keep dragging it further out. You don't have to keep it short, so you can keep dragging it longer and longer.
But it twists.
And it gets too small, and then you have to zoom, and then you have to zoom out.
This is what my PC looks like behind.
There really will be a lot of times where you're going on for like 20-30 nodes, and it's going to get longer than this in some cases anyway, but...
Be lucky they're all wrapped up into nodes instead of you having to do literal lines of code.
So, true. Would the nodes be like, we need one for this is like the enemy disappearing when attacking, then we need one for like the enemy spawning in, and then we need one for like the enemy, I don't know, finding the player.
Yeah. That we definitely aren't going into the finding the player thing today, but yes, there would all be different things. There would all be different things. Like there is a simple way to do it, to do the finding of the players, but there's a very behavior trees of what you do enemy AI with, and those are just they're frustrating to work with. They really are. Okay, so we've typed it all out. What I need you to do is click on the current health, as well as then click on the maximum health and change the default values to 1. So you click on them, and where it says, okay, you might have to compile. You might have to compile and save, remember, because then it will actually give you the default value in the bottom, on the right side of the thing when you've clicked it. So you got to click on. So if you click on the current health, it on the bottom right area, it's got default value. You want to change that to 1, or you want your health to be
1 health in a dream.
And then you can change the maximum health the same way. So you click on the maximum health.
1 as well.
You can make it like 10, just to see but we won't be seeing any like changes beyond destroying the thing at the moment.
What's the maximum health integer supposed to be connected to?
Maximum health needs to be into the max of the clamp. So that's to say, like, say it's got 10 health at the moment, and then it comes in with a -5 value. It's subtracting a negative number creates a positive, so you're actually healing instead. And if you were to say have a healing going in, it would go above 10 if it didn't have this clamp. So you want to have the clamp there just to say this is the maximum and the lowest this value could possibly be.
And minimum, I'm assuming, can stay at 0.
Yeah, because that's the death. Yeah.
So I just got a quick question, and I know the answer is going to be yes, but just for my sanity, I need to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
So if I make a blueprint of like basic functionality, I can add that to any future enemy.
Yes.
Right?
So when you create this enemy right now, you would do something like a spawn actor from class. So it would spawn in that actor from that class. It will have all these all these blueprints and everything. It'll just be a replica of that thing.
Okay. Well, it's more or less if I wanted to Slime A and Slime B, like two completely different creatures, I wouldn't have to rewrite everything. Like I could just go into Slime B and be like, all right, this one has 20 max health, while Slime A only has 5 max health.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're spawning in it, when you spawn in another enemy, you can change the values depending on, like, you've got the current health and max health right now. If you're spawning in an actor, you can drag off of that to change the value of that specific integer when you're spawning a character. So those are the things you can do. Reading the messages between. Okay, we're getting a third notepad. We're getting a third notepad apparently.
No, don't worry. We're not. Fade and I are not setting notes in class. We want to get that distracted.
We're studying.
Yeah. I'm just setting like,
Okay.
hey,
Reviewing our
Fade,
notes.
how's your project going?
I'm not talking to her. I'm reviewing my notes.
Okay.
It's just like school all over again.
Keep passing
Yeah.
notes. Teacher's gonna make you
I'm gonna have to
read
get
it
the
out
ruler.
loud in
I'm gonna
front
have
of
to get the ruler
everyone.
out. Put the notepads away. Stop sharing notes. Smacking the ruler down. Smacking the ruler down. Smack.
What the heck?
Everyone put the notepads away. Everyone put the notepads away.
Back to class.
Back to class.
Mhm.
We're gonna. So we've done this. We've created the code of the thing, but we haven't actually given the ability to be hit yet. You see in the top left under the components panel, where it says capsule component. That should be it, Kobe. Right out.
Yeah. Do I drag it in?
You just want to click on it. You don't need to drag it in. This is your capsule component where your hits are gonna get taken. Your actual, like, if you wanted to have location-based hits, you'd do it on the character, but that's way more advanced than what we're doing. So we're just doing it off the capsule components. Roll down on the right side until you find the collisions. So where it's got the collision preset, just hit the little expanding arrow just to expand it downwards, and then you'll see like these are all the different hits, and you'll see now that our enemy is currently unmarked, and you can't actually change it because you're currently set to pawn. So you want to click on that pawn and change it to custom. And now allows you to tick that little checkbox of enemy block. Where it says enemy, you want to hit the very end one that says block. If it's an overlap, so like say it's a beam of damage that's going through, you do like overlap, and each time it's overlapping and doing damage, you do overlap thing. But we're doing a block because it's just a one-hit attack sort of thing. Event graph again. So we'll go back to the event graph.
I lost it.
It's the tabs next to viewport and construction script and all.
Oh,
There we go.
okay, like the secondary graph. Okay.
So you basically want to copy all of that except for the effect health. So you can select it all, and then you can unselect with control and select. Oh, you don't want to paste it here. You don't want to paste it here, Koba. Everything except for the effect health.
The
So,
interface?
yeah, the interface. You're all good. Everything.
Okay.
Ryan, which one's the effect health?
The
So
farthest left
effect
one.
function because you haven't got
Yeah.
it named for got it named. Yeah, everything.
There you go. Copy
Good.
all
Okay,
of this.
so we're copying that. Then you want to go back to the third-person player blueprint, and then you want to paste that underneath wherever, just in a space where it won't block everything. Then you want to click on the class settings.
So laggy right now.
This is where we did the interfaces. So if you go to the interface on the right side, remember how you gave the enemy an interface?
No, wait.
you,
Am I looking? Wait, I was looking.
you're on the right. You're on the right
I'm
thing.
here.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, so you want to click on the add part where it says add, and then you want to type in player interface, and that gives you the player interface. And then you can right click the background of the event graph. May
This
have to
one, right?
compile. May have to compile so that it knows that it's got it, and then you want to type in effect health and scroll to the top, and it should be event effect. Or you could actually type event effect health. No, you've got the call,
Oh, you
wanna
want to get
scroll up
something
in that little thing?
else.
and you want the event one.
This one.
'Cause
What's it? Oh, it's different. Okay.
Remember how last time when we did this, we right-clicked the left side of the interface and did implemented event implemented event.
To here.
Last time we did it that way. This time we're doing it this
I
way.
like
This
how you
is the
say
difference.
remember, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Probably not. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So wait, which one of these do I want?
So before you hook everything up, you want to right-click the current health, either one, the set or the get. Alright, if you do yours first, if you hit that create variable, yeah, okay. So you want to be careful where you actually click it. It's really weird where you click it. So
on the
Oh, like on the side.
yeah.
not the text.
I don't get why it's like that, but if you right click it and you want to create variable,
And do the same for maximum health.
do the same for maximum health. Do you remember how to set up this part?
No. Maybe.
You
Give
drag
me a
stuff?
second.
Where,
like
where
this?
the execute goes and where the damage value goes.
Did I do it right, teacher?
This goes here.
You have done it right, Nick.
Yes.
This goes here.
Has done
that
it right?
doesn't seem right. I did do it right. Let's go.
I don't remember.
Damage. So you're trying to take something away, aren't you?
The
So
minus,
that's the damage. Yep, goes in there.
yeah.
And then you want to connect those nice little triangles to each other. You're on the right track, Spiral.
Am I on the
There you go.
right track?
You're all good now. You're all good. And then you can connect the execute to there. That way, whenever the player takes damage, it's going to go through those. And that looks like we're all good. That's how you do it. That's how.
Essentially, you want to connect all like the bigger white triangles together, and then
Yeah, the bigger right
Well,
triangles
yes.
are where the code gets
Maybe does.
passed through. Like it has to
Okay.
go through that execution in order to like get all those other things.
Give us a pop.
The pop quiz was supposed to be at the very, very end of the thing, but I don't know if we'll get to that. Because this section was 17 minutes, and it's been
Oh,
late.
Pop
wait.
quiz?
Wait, this section is 10 minutes?
Jesus.
Oh,
Wait, we didn't do that bad. Oh no, that was an hour.
And, it's fine. Like I said, hey, we probably might not get to. It's not like we're still learning things anyway. So like, even if we don't get through the whole lesson, it just means we might
Fine,
not
we're
get
gonna have
to
to relearn this again.
Hopefully, next time we'll relearn it quicker.
I'm gonna give homework out after the class.
I didn't sign up for homework.
Teacher, I'm gonna light your desk on fire if you give me homework. I'm telling you right now.
I need to turn you into little code monkeys to do all the coding for me.
No.
We'll never get there.
Monkey.
Teacher, do you give extra credit?
We have to get to the extra before we can give extra credit.
I've chosen. I'd rather be the suck-up student who's like, nah, I want to do this.
We're gonna be the kids in the back, and we'll be like, "Oh, teacher, we're doing our own stuff now."
Can you change your current health and maximum health to a value that suits you? You remember how you can click them and change the values? And if yes, you might have to compile and save before it gives you the ability to do that. I need you to go to the content browser again, and the third person map. So you want to drag your enemy into the environment wherever you want them to be.
How come he's facing through the ground?
How do I make him not be in the ground?
Yeah, how do
Let
I
go.
make
go.
him not be in the ground?
Let go.
Like oh okay.
Oh, okay, it's like
Oh,
automatic.
okay.
Okay, I
You
like
automa- you
loves
want-
the ground.
they get reorientated, so it's fine.
Okay.
And if I put
Uh,
my third person player down, that's where I spawn, right?
Currently, there's
Not yet.
one already put into the game. So if you see in the outliner
Yeah?
in the top right, at the top right, there's an outliner. If you
Players.
you're on top left, Kola. Top right. If you scroll,
Yeah,
if
I Is it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
you want to scroll through that little list of the outliner, and you might see first
Player
player start. You can press F if you're ever trying to like find something and you're like way off. You can press F and it'll like snap to it. Okay, and then you can hit play, and then you can walk up to your enemy and try hitting them, and it should give you the
Oh,
result.
so laggy.
You don't have enough enemies then.
I killed him. I turned him into a green box. Let's go.
Oh, I can't move. Whack him. Right, whack. Okay, he's gone.
Okay, we got there. You can-
There.
For everyone's sake, back out now.
You look all hexagonal and weird. I'm gonna kill you.
You look different than me. I'm gonna kill you.
I love my 10 frames.
Enemy
a
on
second,
board.
6
I'm
frames
gonna
a
kill
second.
you.
And so this is
I'm keep
that's
doing
just
this 'cause
dragging an
it's
enemy,
fun.
and we're not getting into it now. But the idea is that you would set up a spawner if you wanted to have things respawn. But like you'd say, once this thing dies, you want to respawn another one to kill it. If you're like doing like zombies or Call of Duty zombies or something like that, you want lots of things, and that's how you like go around killing things.
How do I make
Kill
it
it,
less
yeah.
laggy and I stop looking up my butt?
I don't know specifically why it's so laggy for you, because
So for the laggy,
E drive.
so for the laggy part, I don't know if this actually works, but I looked in the settings in the top right, and it looks like there's something called engine scalability settings. Maybe
Yeah,
if you lower
we did
those.
scale those down.
Yeah, it's
no.
already on low.
Oh no!
The problem comes from that's the editor scalability settings.
Oh, but not the game.
When you press play, it's gonna bump them up again, I think.
That was alright.
More RGB than me. How dare you die?
This I've said it before when I was on a friend Deton Prime streams. Like, am I the only one that like just jumps, like just runs around inside their level just doing nothing? It's like, absolutely not. Everyone does it. Everyone just like wants to run around inside the game. If you're not doing that,
Yeah.
it's not even just about playtesting. You've
hole.
created something, you want to run around and quote unquote test it.
I worked
I
in an
wanna run
animation
around.
studio, and it was very much a thing that if you had to rig up a character and you gave it to the animators, they would spend most of the day just playing around with it as if it was a toy.
Yeah.
Like, they were very excited, going, "Oh, you got us a new toy!"
I mean,
Like, this is...
yo,
You have to see where all the
It's a model.
stretch
you know that
zones are.
feeling when you make a live 2D, like a model for your VTuber, you just play around with it, and you're like, yeah, I'm just seeing whether it clips or not, and you're just stuck there
Yeah.
forever. That was me yesterday.
That's what you're doing right now.
Can I get bonus lessons someday to create like my own VTuber setup in Unreal?
Honestly, setting up a UE VTuber, I found out even recently that it's like not even that hard of a task. If you have a VRM, there's a plugin called VRM for you, and the total setup could be like
Silime taught us how to kill.
basically yes. Back in the roll down. Everyone, attention. We're going to right click on the content browser because we want to create something. We're going to create a user interface, widget blueprint. Click that user widget button, and then you want to name this main UI with camel casing, or you can underscore UI. This is going to be your main UI. Okay, want to double click to go into it. So you know UI. Everyone knows a user interface. Yeah, your HUD, your GUI. That's what we're making right now. That's whenever you see like there's like you've got like 5 casts of fireball left. You see that on your thing, and that's what we're trying to do. You see your health going down, and then you get really frustrated because it's going down. That's what we're creating.
Okay.
We've got this is what we're designing the UI right now. So we need to, first of all, where it says search palette in the palette section, you want to search for a canvas, and then you want to drag that onto that thing. That's your screen. That's the screen space. There's other things you can do, but we're doing it on a canvas panel right now. Then on the palette, you also want to search for a progress bar, and then also drag that onto your thing and put it wherever you want your health thing to be. You can resize it however you want it to resize to. This is going to be your health. That might be a little bit excessive next. Might be just a little bit.
Nah, the bigger the health, better.
Yeah.
How else would you know when you're running out of HP?
Exactly.
My health bar goes all the way across the screen. I leveled up my vigor. I'm a Dark Souls gamer.
Yes, that's something you could do where you could like code it so that it does get bigger the more a stat goes up, but we're not doing that. Okay. You see how it's got that little sun, that little star thing? Yeah, so that's where it's anchored. if you put it into like the bottom corner, the right corner, it's gonna try and like if the screen has to be resized, it's gonna like try and put it in a space which like so if you go from like 16 by 9 down to 4 by 3, it'll like move them into the inside without actually changing the scale of your UI. It's how it gets scaled, and if you like grab each individual sun ray, you'll see that it like splits off, and it'll like it'll basically give the average between each of those things. So if you wanted it to be, that's the best way I can explain it. It's like that's where it's gonna try and like position itself on the screen, and that's what that does. We want to click on the progress bar itself, and it should be under on the right side. It says progress.
Progress percentage.
Yep, you want to set that to 1. Because think of it this way, it's 0 to 1, but there's still all the increments of 0.01, 0.02, all those increments all the way through that it follows through of a float. That's how it functions. You have to do math to say that like your current HP is the 0.5% part of it, and then like the maximum health is the 1 part of it. It's a little hard to grasp, I guess, that part of it, but yeah, it's a 0 to 1 scale, and it converts whatever your maximum health is, your current health, and it like fills up that bar. But now we understand it's just 1. But yes, and you can click the little blue color thing under appearance and change it to anything else if you wanted to, and that's how if you wanted to change it its color and like be like whatever, red, blue, anything you feel
I
like.
play Dark Souls, so I'm gonna make. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna stop this bit.
I was gonna say like I'm making mine red because like red color of blood.
Hey, green is the
It's the
stamina
color of
bar.
blood.
I made mine green because it's the health bar. Oh, no, stamina.
Or you could do blue for mana as well. That's that same sort of concept. You want to where it says percent. You want to see where it says bind. You want to create binding. And it's jumped you all the way over here. That's created. This has created the binding for it. So this is basically just to tell that progress bar whatever this return value is producing is going to be the 0 to 1 of the progress bar. We have to give it the value that it wants, but we first of all need to get the value that it wants. So we're going to go to the event graph. First of all, where it says construct, there's the construct one. There's the pre-construct, there's construct, and then there's a tick. We want the construct. It's grayed out now because it's just not being used, but you want to, off of the execute, so the little triangle, you want to type in third person character, and you want the top result because that's the third person character, not the class. You want the this is casting. This is how you cast to say this is what you want. it's like an identifier. Off of the object, you want to drag off of that and do a get player character. As an example, if you tried to drag off of the return value of the get player character right now, and if you try to type in damage, maximum health or current health, you wouldn't get anything because that node doesn't think of your main character being that. Because say if you possessed another blueprint, or like moved from bodies to bodies, and you had different functions or health there, it wouldn't know where to look for a damage value. You've got to say that the player character is currently a class of the third person character. So if you then drag off of the as VP third person character and typed in health, you'll see now you've actually got the values of character.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like one of those like nodes where it's like the middleman rather than like actually having the information. So.
That node is just saying this is player 1.
Yeah.
So off of the as VP third person character. We're on the cast cover.
On the cast.
On the as BP
Wait.
to the right.
Oh,
right?
here.
Yeah.
I was like looking at this and I'm like, what? Okay, here.
So if you type in health, you'll see now. Oh, you'll see now that you've got the values. We don't want those right now. I'm just explaining that's how you get the variables from that person.
Okay.
What we want to do right now is to drag off of it, and you want to promote to variable. It's the top thing of that little box. You want to promote it to a variable. Whenever I'm naming the player character, I call it pref because it's just player ref. It's a 4-letter word that I understand to be like the best way for me to identify. Like when you're typing out pref so many times to like get references to the player reference, it's easier just to go pref for me at least.
Change the name.
You click on you click on it and you go to the details on the right or the left. Yeah, either side will work, and then you change the name. You don't have to change the name, but that's what
the variable name.
Yeah, you change the variable name to pref, so player ref. That's how I do it. There's infinite ways you can name whatever you want for the thing, but that's been my practice for how to do it.
Like
pref, like preferences. Pref. Yeah. Pref.
Oh, I was like free reference.
Player reference. It's a player so it's a reference to the player.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I also typed in PRIFF at the start.
Sorry. A lot of the part where I struggle with teaching is in my brain it makes sense to just say a thing, but I forget to explain the thing sometimes.
That happens a lot.
No worries.
Okay, so we promoted it to a variable, and it's now we have a reference to that character. So when this thing is created, we have a reference to our player reference. So with that, we can go back to the get percent thing, at the top where it says get percent. I want you to drag the pref onto the graph. This next, you want to go to the. Oh, so you've lost it, haven't you? As an example, if you've lost it, where it says functions, you want to see how it says get percent. You can just double click that. Get that.
I double click that.
There you go. If you ever close a tab.
Oh, I didn't close a tab. It just turned into that.
You've got two event graphs, so maybe you did something where you navigated it to there. Where
I double clicked it over here, and for some reason, it changed one input and I made another one.
Because now we've got the reference to our character. We want to drag off of that, and you want to get current health, and then you also want to get the maximum health. You don't want to plug it in yet.
From the pre-ref as well?
Yep, from the pre-ref, yep, off of the pre-ref, you want to get the maximum. You don't want to be setting these, you just want to be getting the references to them. These are your two damage values. As a note, we probably could have used floats to skip this start when we were making the healths, but we've made integers, so it's fine. I usually make integers anyway, but the idea is you want to go off of each of those two, so off the current health, you want to type float, and it turns it into a float. And you can copy that and paste it underneath to connect to the other one. That way you're turning these integers, which can only normally do whole numbers, into things that can do decimals. Because you need decimals to be able to do that.
We're typecasting them.
Typecasting?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yes, we are. Yes. Teacher says yes.
The teacher agrees. Let's go.
Yes. Okay. Off of the top, the float that we've got, you want to type. So you're dragging off of that. Just real quick. Just type in divide. Divide.
I was like, oh, ad. Oh, you meant Twitch ad.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Type in Twitch ad. Twitch ad.
Twitch
okay.
ad.
That's a forged gold star fade.
What? But I was right.
I'm gonna have to deduct a gold star.
I was right.
Take his gold
but
star.
did I say I gave you a gold star?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I said teacher says yes.
Which is the same thing.
I'm gonna minus the gold star for talking back to the teacher. That's the power that the teachers have.
Take away his gold star. Take it all.
Smack. Smack on the roller. Smack.
Supporting the teacher.
No pads away.
Did I do the code right?
Yes, you have done the. You are plugging the bottom, the maximum into the divide. So the maximum's two float. The maximum is the bottom part. Sorry. I almost led you astray. I'm sorry. The current health needs to be on the top. Okay, so then you plug that into the return value. It's one of those things where I've you kind of you look at these executions, and I've always thought of them like a little bit like guns, with the way that they're being fired, their design. They've got the barrel and everything on the top, and
the trigger, the loading area.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, Nixon's got a shotgun going on. Yeah. So we've done this. Make sure to compile and save. Always remember to compile and save regularly. And as a note, so if you're on the top left where it says file, it says save all, and then that's just to save everything. BP third person character. That is where we want to be. We want to be in the blueprint of the third person character.
This is why I never close tabs.
Yeah, that's why you don't. Some of the things like some of the tabs you can close when you know you're not coming back to it. Like, oh, that comes with like knowledge of I'm not coming back to this. Okay, we're gonna right click the background of the event graph, and you want to search for begin play. Gonna zip you over to the begin play.
So I already have that.
Yeah, it's gonna woo all the way over to there. So this is your begin play. It's where all these things are being set up, so you can see how it's already done some stuff. You want to go to the very end of that execution, so where it says add mapping, and then off of that execute at the very end, you want to type in create widget. It doesn't have to be in the comment box. As a note, I see you all kind of resized the comment box to envelop the thing.
Oh, I didn't. You can do that.
Okay. You can't. So that's comment boxing. So if you're ever like, you know, if you click on the construct right now, I was going to mention this later, but might as well do it what's relevant. Press C. Type whatever you feel like saying. This is how you comment, and to say this is the section of code for this thing. This is how you comment.
Oh, and this is the whole section. Oh. I can move it.
That was cool. Thank you, Nix. Right. So where it says class, you can search for, or scroll down and search and look for. You want to look for main UI. Then off of that, you're going to promote a variable. So drag off the return value, and you want to promote to variable. And then you can just name that main UI underscore reference or ref. You'll discover your naming convention patterns as you know
it's
work
gonna
through
become
things.
MUIR.
Imrif.
Muir.
Move for this.
Immer.
Mastered Ultra Instinct Rep.
Yes. Okay, off of that, you wanna off of the main UI reference set, the set one, you wanna drag off the blue circle, and you're gonna type in add to viewport. Because just because you've created the variable doesn't mean you've added it to the screen yet.
This is not supposed to have number 2.
It doesn't need to have 2. You can disconnect the set, and it would be functionally the same, or you could just delete the main UI together. They're doing everything they need to. You know, they just need to figure out how to upload a virus to the mainframe, and they're all good.
Let's go! I'm gonna make an infinite loop.
It's a Unix system. I know.
Okay, you want to create an infinite loop? Just hit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll teach you how to do an infinite loop right now. Off of the execute. Off of the execute. Type delay.
Delay.
I'm not doing this. I'm worried I'm gonna break it.
And on the completed, plug it back into the add to viewport.
Like here?
Yep. You've created an infinite loop.
Oh.
That's an
I'll
infinite
let
loop.
Fade break his computer. My computer's like
Yeah. That creates an infinite loop. And if you were doing stuff like adding a UI to a thing, it would basically get to a point where it would just probably chug your entire screen. It would do something after a while. So just for now, delete the delay. But that's how you create an infinite thing there.
Got you.
There are times where you might accidentally create an infinite loop, and if you hit play, Unreal will be like, nope, not doing that. I've detected this infinite loop. We're not going to hit play. Go here, fix this.
This
it'll give
will
you the error.
explode your computer.
Yeah,
We're not
basically.
doing that.
Will it
It'll
miss
do
it sometime?
Yes, sometimes. That's the problem. It doesn't always catch it, because sometimes it might create a situation where it's not technically infinite loop. It's not like a technically infinite loop. It's just it's going through so many different cycles of, like, say you're creating a randomized environment and it's trying to place this object where it can't possibly collide with other things, but it's always going to collide with something. It's created an infinite loop that it can't solve, and it's still going to keep trying to solve it. It's not a technical infinite loop. It's just something you have to figure out why it's just infinitely looping. So it's usually going to spit out an error, but in most cases, in some cases it won't, and you have to figure it out. But yeah, you want to right click the background, and you want to type in debug key H, however you pronounce it. This is how you can do inputs for really quick inputs, ones that don't require you to have you're not going to have a gamepad. You just want to quickly test this function. You create a debug key instead, and it gives you that. Off of the pressed, you want to call effect health. Remember the function that we made? We want to do the effect health message call function.
Could you rename a variable so that it renames through everything, or would you have to go through and rename it manually?
Yeah, so if you were to go back to your interface right now, you could change that function to be called something different, and it would update it throughout all the places where it's referenced. You just have to compile and save. If you changed it to like a float now, it would create the float, but there would be like a red error of damage value. So like it would be red, and it would like be telling you this no longer is a valid input, and you'd have to disconnect it and reconnect to the new one, or do whatever you want to the new one.
Okay, got you.
So then you change that. You want to change that damage value to 1. So that if you ever decide if you're going to press 1, it's now going to do 1 damage to the player. Yeah, don't do it any more than like whatever your maximum health is, because you will just kill yourself in Minecraft. That's to do 1 damage. But say you wanted to do a range, so like you've got a damage value between like 1 and 3. Off of the damage value, I need to drag off of the damage value, and you're going to type random integer in range. Eventually you get used to it, where if you just typed in range, you'd actually get exactly what you wanted, because you know it's only going to have a few amount of things that it can be. So like it would just be that. You'll be able to find the nodes you want quicker the more you get accustomed to knowing what you want. Like you know where the paint tool brush is, you know where the eraser is, you know where these things are, because you get used to where these things are in a program, that kind of thing. So where it's got minimum value and maximum value, you could just do like 1 to 3. If you just change the top part to 1 and then the bottom part 3, that means whenever you press this button, it's going to do a damage value of 3.
Is that crit rate or something?
Well, yeah. So like this is just a debug. So if you can imagine, you've got a weapon that does 10 to 20 damage, and it's got to go through a whole bunch of things of values of like strength. It's how much strength it's doing. You've got to like you're just plugging this damage value. You're sending off a damage value to the enemy. All the calculations happen here and send it to the enemy so that they take that damage value. But yes, if you wanted to have a crit, you'd have like a separate percentage calculation where it'd be like roll a number between 1 and 100. If it's under 20, you've crit, and then you'd pass it off as a higher damage value. Where you know that true and false branch, you did a true and false branch, and then you just, if it's less than 20, then of that 1 to 100, then you're going to do a crit, and it would go down the true path. But if it was not, it would just go down the false path and just do whatever damage value is of that. That is how you do like a crit. Okay, so compile and save. Hopefully that makes sense.
My sense is leaving.
Just to check, you've made your maximum. Have you checked your maximum health and your current health of your variables?
Have I?
In the bottom left, just to make sure that they're actually not just zeros.
Oh, they are 0 still. I thought I changed it.
So try changing them to 10 for now.
I was going to say because we'll get into the negatives otherwise.
You want to change your current health and your maximum health to 10 at least.
What does it mean by debug only? What am I supposed to connect this?
Debug only means if you package this game, it wouldn't include this function. This is you know how there's like dev tools, like there's those secret dev tools that like people discover to like run a game or like break a game.
Oh, they're so secret.
Secret coding.
So you've done this. You've compiled and saved. You can now hit play and press H a few times. Yeah, you've got your little health bar down the health bar. Every time you press H, it should be reducing it.
I died. No.
Yep, and there's no respawn. Oh, and it's giving you a bunch.
Oh.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the errors that you can get. Every time you've done something wrong, it spits out like an error. Like it'll tell you this is trying to find the player, but it can't find the thing and do the thing. So.
So you die in the game, you die in real life.
Die in the game, you die in real life.
Rip.
died.
So yeah, if you were doing like actual like thing, not destroy actor, you'd have it. Oh, why are you running off, Nick? How's it?
Oh wow, that's a lot of attempted.
I learned from watching Fruitsy's streams that while in the play mode, you can press F8 and you go into the development camera.
Okay. Yeah,
and I was just testing that. I'm like, oh, so that's what Fruitsy would do.
I thought you created a bug that I had to try and figure out. But yeah, you're all good. Okay. Yeah, if like you said, if F8 lets you go into like so if you press F8 while you're playing, it's gonna pop you into like a god mode. You're not possessing the character right now. You're just like observing things that are happening in the game, but you're not possessing the player. That's how that works. It's how you make a UI to do that. I did have a thing. If you go back to the main UI, you want to go to the designer. It's in the top right. It's where it says the big blue button that says graph. You want to go designer. You want to see on the left side, you've got yep, we're on the right place. On the left side that says text in the palette, just drag that text onto wherever you want it to be. So it says text content, and there's a bind next to it. You can create a binding. We create a new binding, and then you'd grab your pref, and then you off of that pref, you just want to grab a current health, and then you just plug that straight into your return value. You don't have to do the divide for this one. See how it automatically converts things from it converted it to a text. There's text, there's string, there's name, there's a few different ones. I don't know why there's so many and what the differences really are between them, but yeah. So if you hit play again, or compile, save, and play, you'll see now that you've got a number that like tracks the thing.
Wait, I don't have it.
Would you put your number?
I don't have it either.
If you go back to your main UI into your designers. Yeah. Okay. So this is based off of anchoring. Because if you hit play here in this little section here, you'll see that it actually shows up.
But if I hit play in the main area, it doesn't.
Because your window isn't a 16:9 ratio right now in the
so it's like
thing.
cutting out.
It's going off screen. So this is what I'm talking about with anchoring. You want your anchoring to be where it is gonna like resize. You want to grab the very center of it and move it over to the right. You click on the text to bring up the sun, then you click the middle of the sun, and then you drag it over to the right.
Okay, and then I press play in the third, save.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So you should be able to click it in the third person map now, and it should orientate it to the very corner.
There you go.
And if you resize the window right now, it would move the things. So this is what I mean by it. Have it so that if you have different resolutions, it's gonna scale to that resolution. If you try to anchor everything to the top left, if it goes outside of the wherever you've put it in that 16:9 widget, it's gonna try to put it off screen, and it's not what you want. Spiral beating up some cubes. What the cubes ever do?
Cubes owe me money. They owe me money. They work for the government. I don't like the government. Let me out.
Okay.
Let me out. I'm trapped. Help.
Let me out. Let me out. This is not a dance.
No, it's not.
This is like 90% of the fun of actually making the game is just doing these sort of things where you just play around with what you're working with. If you're doing it normally, instead of destroy character for the player character, you just have a command. There's a command. Well, you can do a command. You can do like a respawn system, but there is a command that just says you do execute console command, and then you type in the command which is restart level. And that would just restart the level from beginning. But if you have like a system where they like die, that you don't want to restart the entire level, you'd have it so it just teleports them to wherever the save point is if you were doing it that way. This is why we always save, compile, save all, always keep saving.
Oh yeah, I haven't saved all in a while. Does Control S just work?
Control Shift S.
Yeah, you see the little things there. Control Shift. I think if you just did Control S inside of a blueprint, it would just save.
Yeah, that's the one
thing.
blueprint.
We've actually put past the first section of the tutorial involving the stuff that I wanted to give the basics of how to do things. You've talked between player and the enemy, and one can damage the other right now. Bit of a one-sided fight, but that's where we're leaving that part off.
Let's leave it like that. It makes it fair.
Power fantasy. You cannot die.
Is this one of those programs where by the end of this, you're going to make us all make our own little one-level game and then grade us on it?
No. I'm not going to spring that on to you, don't worry. It won't be a little game. I want a whole AAA MMO.
Dang it! MMO.
I'm gonna make a Souls-like
MMO. Get on it. I told you, I'm turning you into code monkeys. I need someone else to code while I can do other things.
Today I'm teaching you how to make microtransactions.
Yeah. Teach us how to make microtransactions. So, you teach a man how to fish. But fish can't teach a man. I don't remember what to call it.
There's no way a fish can't eat a man.
My brain is so fried right now.
You know how I was talking about percentages before with the crits and everything? One of the things I wanted to teach was like actually doing a gacha where you press an F button, it would like give you an A or B or a S, R or whatever. I wanted to do that, but it's been, maybe that can be after everything.
Loot boxes.
Yes, basically loot boxes, gacha, or any sort of thing like that as a funny little thing.
Yeah.
Can we make a Souls-like Call of Duty MMO with loot boxes?
Oh, and have a
Sure.
battle arena, like a Fortnite ring closing in as well.
I think you
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
I think you just made a C-suite executive turn their eyeballs into dollar signs with that statement.
Oh, but wait. I can make it worse. Your
Can you make it
character
with
has
just-
permadeath? No, your character has permadeath, so when you die, you gotta start again.
No, you
Oh, it's
die
an
for
extraction
real.
shooter! Oh yeah!
Yeah.
Bungie, take notes.
Can you do all that on a budget of $100 and 5 Cheetos?
Let's take a beloved property from over 30 years ago and reformat it into a live service extraction shooter. I'm not mad. Fuck you, Bungie. Don't touch Marathon, you dicks.
I didn't even know that's
Well-
what they were doing with it.
That is what they're doing with it. They're turning it into a fucking extraction shooter.
Fade's playing Sisyphus right now.
If there's any
It-
genuine takeaway from this chat, it's develop your own games, support indie games,
Yes, definitely.
buy indie
why,
games.
That's why we're learning right now.
It's exactly why we're learning right now, so we can avoid that shit.
I think what we'll do is one last thing, and then we can probably call it there so everyone's brains isn't completely fried.
Oh yeah.
And so I have enough time to, like, you know, cut this video into a thing.
Yeah.
It should be. It says 9 minutes, so maybe 18 to 20. We'll see.
Well,
18 to
you gotta remember, you know, we've already learned some of the basics, so the rest of these little things will be easier to understand.
Well, how much do we remember?
Do you remember where third-person character is?
I still have it open.
Wait, which one are we?
Third-person character.
Third person
So,
character.
Player.
Easy.
Okay. Okay. So you asked about it earlier, Fade. Let's go back to content browser real quick. So if you right-click the third-person character and you want to click rename, and you can just type player underscore BP.
Should I use underscore or just keep enemy naming, like just player BP?
You can camel case it or just do underscore, but I usually use underscores for declaring what type of blueprint it is. So if it's a blueprint, I do underscore BP. If it's a UI, I'll do underscore UI. And now that you've done that, you can hit compile, hit save. Everything that's ever referenced your player character. So in this case, if you go to the UI, the main UI, and to the event graph. If you hit compile and save right now, because as you can see right now, it's not been compiled and it's not done what it's supposed to do. Oh, you might. It's supposed to change it. Maybe go to the third-person character and compile. It does need to be compiled over there.
Yeah, it still works.
It still function. It actually. That's a weird one because it's
I
actually
think my
supposed to
PC's
update.
Oh no, because if you highlight it, it still says tries to access object as a blueprint class, player BP. So it's the name of this thing.
Oh, okay, so that cast is
hasn't
being named
updated.
it, but it's still going to
Yeah.
try go. Okay, it's still functioning. Oh, okay, no. I see that Barrows has got the as player BP now. And Nix
I
has got it as well.
compiled I compiled everything and then I hit save all and then I played and stopped
Okay.
playing. And
Maybe
that's
that
where
was the
I'm at.
case where even though
You're
you
just
did-
playing.
yeah, so you compile the player BP. Oh, you haven't named
No, still the
the
same.
reason why Koba.
Yeah?
Koba. The reason why your name doesn't change is because you haven't actually changed the name of it.
What?
So right click your thing and go rename, and then type player underscore BP.
Oh, what did that make sense?
Oh no, I renamed the wrong one. That's what's happening.
Oh, did you rename
Mine
yours too?
doesn't do the thing though. Mine actually doesn't.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
renamed
And
the
now we're
actual
gonna make
The
player.
bottom part has changed to as player
The
BP.
bottom, the top didn't. Is that fine?
Guess, right?
Okay, Fade, the bottom part has changed to as player BP, but the cast is still saying that. I don't know why it doesn't update it. Because
Okay.
You might have to compile your BP player and save all. So you have to go to. So no, you want to go to the BP player and go compile and save. And maybe now in your main UI it should. There we go. There we go.
There you go.
That's updating. Okay. That is how it should be. So if you as you're naming, compiling and saving, and if you change your name of something, it's going to update it over all the instances that it's referenced anyway. So you don't have. It's not like if you're like coding with text, you'd have to like, say you've called something player BP and you wanted to change it to BP player later on down the road, you'd have to go find all and change instances. But like if it doesn't catch all, it might break things. You know.
Okay.
This way, it's just it's automatically doing it for you. This is why you'd name your character from the beginning anyway. You'd name your character or whatever is of the blueprint, and it would stay that for the rest of the thing, and then you wouldn't have to worry about changing the name of it.
John Unreal.
Okay, speed. Fade's request was speed. Fade wants speed. Speed.
Of course he wants speed.
There is a million ways to do the same thing, and this is the way that I had in mind to do this thing. I don't know if it's the effective way to do this. A lot of what I've taught you is just basics. These are actually like the specific things now, so that's why I wanted to just say that. I wanted to say something. I don't know fully where I'm going with that, but yeah. It's hour 3. Give it up for hour 3. Woo!
For hour 3.
Okay. We want to go to our player BP. It's now called player BP or BP player, whichever you prefer. Just remember what you've called it, and whenever I talk about it, that it's the player BP. And you want to right-click the background and type in tick. It should be an event tick, so scroll up or scroll down. In your case, yeah. Scroll down.
I think to set a good precedent, where's this event tick gonna be connected, if anything, to anywhere?
It's gonna be its own thing. It's gonna be its own thing. So remember how you can comment things? You could even comment all the stuff that you've done now. Okay, for the speed, let's do that. We'll just go through your different things. You want to select your entire part of that section of the code. So like where it's the effect health, you'd select all the nodes of that thing, and then you press C, and then you'd type in whatever comment you have for that thing. And that way you're able to like identify where all these things are. So if I ever need to tell you to like go find this, in which I do, I think later on in the tutorial I do tell you to go find specifically I tell you to go find the attack thing. That's where I tell you to go find.
Why does theirs look better than ours visually? I see.
Yeah, if you click it and then you go to the right, you can change the color of it. If you ever catch my like Unreal Engine streams, you'll understand just how fluid you get to looking for things and how lazy you get to finding these things. Like you don't want to type out a whole word, so you type out a very specific, like you type in DK, and you'd know exactly how far to scroll down to find event tick and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you can change your colors and everything, and everything's all nice and pretty.
Like jazz.
You like jazz? You like jazz? You like?
And change the opacities and all that jazz.
You like jazz?
Jazz.
You like?
I'm gonna teach you how to print string, and then it's gonna print the entire B movie script.
Sounds character health, right? No, this
click a debug button and it just prints the entire script for the B movie stream on your UI.
Can I add that to one of the
yellow,
I want to
black,
learn?
That'd be horrible.
Consider it. Consider it for after.
Let's go.
That's like an
maybe my
epilepsy.
MMO.
That's an epilepsy issue waiting to happen. Oh my gosh.
So we want our tick. So we want to go to where our tick is. Everyone's on the tick. Remember where your tick is?
Yep.
After the tick, you want to add press B and add a branch by clicking B and click. You can right-click search branch as well, but that's one of the hotkeys. There's a few things like I think it's maybe M. If you press M and then click, it'll give you maybe a multiplier or something.
Multigate.
It's different. Multigate. There we go. There's lots of different ways to do that. Like actually, a multigate is kind of a bit like what we're doing anyway, but we're doing a branch.
Okay.
Don't worry.
D is for delay.
Lots of different keys have different like shortcuts.
For each loop. That's what we need for our B movie script.
It is actually, yes, you're correct. For
each index of the array, and it iterates through.
Okay, so you want to connect the execute of the tick to the branch. Right-click the background and search for get velocity. Velocity being your movement in a direction, usually forward, is what it's trying to say. It's think of it like a car's moving forward. It's got a velocity. It calculates the speed in which you're going in that direction. Like if you're falling, it's going to count how fast you're falling. Okay, and then you want to right-click the background and get actor forward vector. Get actor forward vector off of the guys, off the
Yeah.
Off the velocity, you want to type dot product.
Not the dot products. Not more math.
This is your dot product. It's spitting out a number. Spitting out a number rather than the yellow one, the yellow line is 3 different things. It's your XYZ, whereas the green one is just one value that it's spitting out. So you want to connect the active forward vector to the B of that dot product. So off of the branch, for the condition, you want to do a greater than or equals. Greater than or equal. Yep, not just not the top one, the bottom one, because you want it to be either that number or higher. Give fade full mark.
Right, I need to send my complaint.
That could take away another golden star that you don't even own, Fade.
What? Those text says so.
Negative stars.
You have to do what the text says, slime.
Don't say that, then type Koba's mum.
Okay, wait. You're sick. Never mind.
God, Fade.
I'm here to learn about speed.
Detention. It's the idea of, you know, how like in I think did you specifically state Sonic, how like as you're moving you go faster and faster?
I just said momentum, but yeah, I think that's a good example.
Yeah, so like Sonic, how you move faster and faster the more you're moving. So that's a little bit of how this works. We've got our we want to plug our dot product into the top of the greater than or equal. For that 0 value, you want to change that to 50. The 50 is representative of how fast velocity is you want it to be going before it starts to like ramping up in speed. So I've put it at 50 because that just means if you're standing still, you're not going to ramp up speed. You want it to be on a true and false because when it's going above 50, it's going to be ramping speed. When it's going below 50, you want to reduce that speed. Oh, and I did it. I explained it, and that's what I wrote down I was going to do at this point, that I was going to explain how this works. You can see in your little components tab on the left side is the components. On the top where it says character movement. Drag that onto the graph. Anything you see on the left, you can just drag it over to the graph. Is usually how you're getting
like
reference to each of those things.
In the My Blueprint.
Yeah, any of the variables or any of the components, you can grab a reference to it. So you want to have to be past the branch. Off of the character movement, you want to get max walk speed. And then off of that, you want to get an ad. Not a Twitch ad, just a normal ad.
Operation?
Add operator. Set that to 1. Set that add to 1. And then off of that, you want to do a clamp float. Okay.
Oh, this is gonna annoy me. It doesn't align.
Okay, if you want to line things up, right click the actual like circle, and then it should be straighten connection.
Straightens
straightens up the connections. So you can do it on any side if you want to have a thing straight as anything.
Oh, you have to do it one at a time. You can't select.
Yeah, you can't. You'd have to do it individually, just because you don't want. They want to give you the control over it, because if you did it to everything, it would just ricochet all the way down the line and like maybe like overlap things and create a big mess, and you don't want that. Off of the character movement, you want to set max walk speed. Then plug your clamp into that.
The return value clamp? Into
yes,
this?
Sorry. Yes, the return value of the clamp into the max walk speed. As another way of cleaning up your things, there's that line that you've got, the line that's connecting all things, double click just anywhere in the middle of it.
You make a thing, I see.
That's a reroute node.
Oh.
Be careful though, because sometimes if you try to reroute too many different directions, it will just disconnect and you.
How do I move it?
You have to like highlight the corner of it, and it will give you.
Yeah.
Or you can select it, and then you'll be able to move it. Yeah. That's how you create reroute nodes. So, and you want to connect that the true execution of the branch into the max walk speed. So for that branch into the triangle.
Oh, I see. Okay.
From the triangle to the triangle.
The triangle,
branch to which one? Is that?
To that one. Yep. Because there's only
That's
all
the
those
other
other ones. All those other ones are the math, and that one's the actual like equal. Like, if you imagine it like that, you've got like your set is your equals node. That's all that math that leads up to it is what equals the set. So like you're setting it after doing all the math leading up to that.
What should the min and max values be 0 and 1 on the clamp?
Exactly what I'm about to explain. Off of each of those, you want to promote them to variables. So the min and max values of the clamp, you can name it minimum. They're currently just min and max right now. Right now, at the moment, you want to name them something like min walk speed, max walk speed. Or even right-clicking and promoting to variable works as well. There is a reason for doing this rather than just putting numbers in there. Okay, so we've got our promote to variables, maximum walk speed, minimum walk speed. compile and save so that you can actually edit the default values of these. So for your min walk speed, I'm suggesting 500. I think that's the default. You want to click on the character movement on the components. Okay, so you'll see that these are all the different variables for each state. So you've got like jumping, falling, walking, running, swimming. There's all these different modes you can be in. We're just going to be working with walking, so that's why there's like, yeah, this is how you control how your character moves. Like you can change the gravity, the jump height, all that stuff is changed here. For this case, you'll see that in the character movement walking section, you've got the max walk speed. It's set to 500, which is the default of what you've created here, right? We're setting the minimum walk speed to 500 because that's what our default is, and then we want to set the maximum to say 1200. I was just showing you where that max walk speed comes from. So you see how we've got from the start, we've got character movement, and it goes target max walk speed. That's what we're trying to target. That's what we're trying to change, and that's why we're trying to change the max walk speed to our designated number, which is going to be a clamped value between 500 and 1200 is what it could be, like 5000. It could be whatever you want. Depends on how fast you want your game to go. The reason why we do this way is rather than just chucking in a number of 500 to 1200 in that min and max value, what happens if you run on a surface that lowers your speed? Let's say you're running on like tar and you want your max walk speed to now be like half of what it is. You change the max walk speed there so that when it's like being clamped, it's going to like reduce it down to that value rather than, you know, it's going to stay at 1200 no matter what surface you're running on. That's why you try to use variables like this to control
Stay consistent.
these things.
To be adjustable, pretty much.
Yeah.
Be adjustable, yes. Like exactly. So like it's the same thing I talked about with the damage values earlier on, like how you'll have the base damage value, then you'll have like a percentage of that for more extra damage based off of stats or whatever. Like there's all that. That's why we try to create these variables to control these things and like affect them as they need to be, rather than just putting in 500, 1200. It's easier to do it this way. it's the short up there. It's like you don't want to be like going all over the place trying to fix things, where you can just create a variable, change the maximum of that variable so that it's so it can only be a certain height. That's why we do it that way. Of the max walk speed, the green part, but the triangle, we're looking to type print green. I want you to grab that pink circle and chuck it onto the green one. Of the the set max walk speed. This is where we've actually kind of created two variables with the same name. This is why you have to be careful. I've told you to do this, but it's actually kind of incorrect to do it this way. You want to try and keep your variables to be unique, so the fact that we've called it max walk speed is wrong. You want it to be something like...
Which max walk speed am I doing?
Oh, no, we've done it. We've got it. So you've got it right. I'm just saying that I've told you to do it I've explained to do it in a kind of wrong way. If you wanted it to be a unique thing, you'd have it maximum walk speed, so that the name of the variable that we created, you'd click on it and rename it to maximum walk speed instead, rather than just max walk speed. I've taught y'all wrong. I've taught you wrong naming.
So we put the string here to the maximum walk.
Yes, okay, it will go off of that. Sorry, yes, you are correct. I'm wrong. I am wrong about the right. Okay. Sorry.
This one, so it's to these two then.
Yeah, I'm trying to read my notes and I did it wrong, and because I've used the same naming conventions. I've used the same name for two variables that they shouldn't be the same name. Hey, right. Nix is right.
I'm right. Okay.
Koba's wrong. Koba's you need to plug it into the into the max walk speed set. Yeah, sorry.
Double check about that.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah. I know, and I.
Yeah, okay.
Give it up for Al.
We got it right.
Hey,
we've been here for a while.
Okay. Ignore everything before the branch, and select all the nodes after the branch. Copy.
Can't show history.
What?
Copy.
Oh, you press Windows C.
Oh.
Over.
I think that's saying something.
Okay, because you've done the true part of it, so you want to make some space for a false. So like, grab everything you've just move everything you've just done, and try to like create space for a false. Be underneath it.
Oh, so then you do this, and then you do this.
Yes.
Oh.
problem with this is it's doing the exact same thing. We want the false to be doing the reverse. So where it's got the plus,
Oh,
You
do you
can
have
do
to
it-
change the plus to minus?
you can do I think you can do a negative, just put a -1 in there, but it probably would be better just to replace that
Yeah.
add node to a subtract node instead.
And it would just be minus? Or just be
Yes.
+1?
It would just be a -1. You could do like a -5 or -10. This is the deceleration speed. So like say you've stopped, like you've hit a wall, or you've done something, like you're running along, you've hit a wall, you want to penalize the player for hitting a wall. So you're going to harshly drop that drop of speed off. So you do a higher number than 1. 1's the gradual workup, where you're trying to increase speed over time, whereas you're now trying to stop them really quickly. So you want to reduce the max walk speed by, say, 5 per tick instead. Kobe, you put in -5.
Wait, was
You
I
just want to
not?
put in 5.
Oh, okay. I
Because
wasn't
if you
sure
try to
about that.
subtract a -5, you're plussing.
Yeah, that's what I asked about. I was like, do I need to put -5?
Sorry. I thought you meant like.
It's already -5 because it has the subtract.
Yes. You
Okay,
could have
okay.
probably just done the add and did a -5. I think that would have worked the same, but
And so then this number should be like you said 5 or something.
yeah, this is your deceleration speed. So like again, you can make this a variable and then like, change that dynamically depending on like maybe you've got some stat that like reduces the reduction of your speed loss when you hit a thing, but we're not doing that. No, I'm just saying that's the example of like why you create variables to affect your variables. That should allow you to playtest, to be able to playtest.
Okay, so
now.
we compile,
Compile,
save,
save.
and try it out.
I'm so glad you said it
Right.
before I had to say it. I just said
Let's
playtest,
go!
and you guys.
Hey! Oh, but that's the thing
So-
is, can I even play? Oh gosh, it's laggy. Oh no.
So-
oh.
What you want to try and do
Come
is
on,
just keep,
mine's broken.
My one has
Uh,
a bunch of 500s next to.
Yeah, that's your movement speed. So if you start moving,
So-
it'll go up.
Yeah.
I can't.
Mine goes forward. Thing.
yeah. Unfortunately, Cobra can't really, but like, what's wrong? What's
I
going on?
I did something
Yeah, I just
wrong.
want to know why there's a bunch of numbers on the side. Shouldn't that be hidden?
Well, yeah, we have
Yeah.
it for debug.
Like
That's
mine,
our
mine,
print statement.
mine works. I'm just wondering why it's like constantly.
I can't tell if it's working or not.
If you look at the Discord and at what everyone else is doing, you'll see that it's working.
I'm sure Mama works as well. It it works for
Teacher.
like 2 seconds and then it like freezes.
Next.
Mine doesn't work.
You've done a clamp angle, not a clamp float.
Why is it angle? I thought it was a.
They're both green, but they're.
I'm gonna go faster.
Hey, where's my speed?
Gone.
Why have you taken all my speed?
It's mine now. Yippee!
I'm a slideshow.
Watch this. Watch this.
But I was never told I was wrong earlier.
I'm sorry.
Teacher didn't notice.
Your screen specifically
There we go.
has the text very like it's not like legible for me. It's very hard.
But mine's at 150%. It should be bigger now.
Next
I don't
time
think
you
I
open
can
it-
I'm picking up speed.
Did you change your speed to be higher, Fade?
I made it 9,000. Yeah,
He's going.
but I don't think I can do it in this room. I don't think I can reach it in this room.
So, I guess my question is there a way to make it so that it only returns this value on the screen once, so that it's not an eyesore?
Yes.
Okay.
You would reduce the duration of it. Yeah, if you expand it and go duration, you'd have to reduce it down to like that might be short enough. This tick node is an expensive node, which is why I said I don't know if this isn't really the correct real way that you probably do. There's probably ways to refine this using a more refined thing, but this is how I've written it. It was a very, I don't know. There's other ways that you probably could have done this a little bit nicer and more cost efficient. A tick node is firing every frame.
Oh.
Yeah. Every
Every
frame, every tick, every frame, it is bam, 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 bam,
It doesn't
bam,
really
bam,
help with my lag issues, does it?
No, that's
Well-
part of why you're lagging more. Is
It's
'cause
probably
it's going
worse.
up.
It was actually working for a second, then you open the thing.
Okay, no, it's working. It's working. Oh my
Play
god.
Play the game.
Yeah, I get it.
Play
Like,
the
I'm
game.
normal now. You know, after laggy for like the whole stream, now you work.
Don't
like,
question
what?
it. Play the game, Kovo.
I killed everyone. I won.
Get the speed.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Oh my
I
God,
capped it at
no, so
1,000.
You could just reduce your speed loss to like 0. Fade.
Oh.
Wait, you're so
Once you go to
right.
9.
I already hit 9K.
You know what we need? We need a sliding mechanic, man.
True.
I wouldn't actually know how to do that. I could probably do it. It's more of a animation thing that
Yeah,
Hmm.
I imagine so. I mean, maybe we could just sit down and slide.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Pre-existing
It would be
assets,
kind
I
of
assume.
difficult to get feedback on it if you didn't have any animation to go along with it.
Oh yeah, just sit down and
You
slide.
see the
Slide.
movement of it.
I'm picking up speed.
This is game dev. This is the fun of game dev. Just
It's just
running
playing the
around
game.
in your phone.
Speed.
And then around at the speed of sound.
You've created something and you're seeing what it does. And it's game dev.
Yeah.
That is the fun of game dev.
Exactly like live TV.
There you go. I
Man.
figured it out. If you want to only have it bring one line, do 0.005.
Math.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one final last thing for the lesson. It's just to refine this a little bit, and it's an optional thing of like how you'd want your game to function. The idea of your character is in the air, and if you didn't want them to gain speed while they're moving in the air, so like if they've like jumped, you want them to want to pause
maintain the current momentum.
Yes, but not gain any more.
Yeah.
Yes. So, in order to do that, you'd have to create another branch next to your execution. And you want it to be before the branch that you've already created.
Before.
Oh.
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 Okay.
Oh.
This is why you make things look pretty once you've done coding it.
You're so right. I've learned so much.
So before, and then pretty much we put these.
Just remember, nobody's
so
gonna
you
see
want-
it.
you want it
It'll
to be
only
on
look
the,
like ass to you.
True,
Yeah,
but I
everyone's
still
gonna
have to
see
see it.
How do you do it?
It's a
Oh,
secret to everybody. What do we do with this here branch? What do we do?
It's going over here. We're gonna go get that tick. We're gonna grab that tick and we want to disconnect it. So you can either press Alt and click it, or you can, and whatnot, or you can just disconnect it. You want to grab that execute and plug it into the branch, or the execute of the tick and plug it into the branch.
The new branch.
The new branch.
and then this one to the other branch.
And you want, yes, but you don't want to do it on the true.
Oh.
You want to be on the false. When you're falling, you don't want it to do anything.
Okay.
Movement falling or something.
Cobra's learning. Cobra's
I
got it.
know!
So you want
I remember
Character
some-
falling.
Is falling?
Is falling.
Is
I
falling?
just
Okay.
remember seeing a
Yeah.
falling option.
Is
I don't
falling.
need this auto-generated character movement, right? No, I do need that,
You
right?
do.
It's
Or
falling
you-
type of movement.
You can plug the old one in, but it doesn't. It's the same reference to the same thing.
Oh,
So wait, what are
and
we-
that's
what are we
the
doing?
condition.
Okay, so
Where do we find
right click and type is falling.
Wow.
It'll give you another node to go with it, and you just want to plug that into your condition of that new branch. That's all you need to do for that.
Oh,
Okay,
that's it?
that's it.
So you plugged in the false to the execute file and next. Anytime you want to stop something from okay. Oh, someone's car in the background. One last final thing I guess I can teach you how to. You see how these are all little nodes. These are all little nodes. These the branch, the little, everything. So you got these all little nodes. I want you to select the branch is falling and character movement all together.
You can control click the three of them.
Yeah.
Select them all.
So you want to right click
Right.
And-
click.
collapse to macro.
Right.
Oh.
This is how you make it
Oh.
look pretty.
So this is how you hide everything.
Yep, and it's been named new macro. You want to change
it.
that to something like character. You want to change the name of it to like character falling or something.
Where did I?
Oh, I clicked on the new macro.
It's on the left side on the it's above the variables. It's under the macro.
Oh, okay, here.
Variable. Yep. And you
How do
can
I rename?
You can right click rename.
Falling event? What is my? What are we calling it?
Characters falling.
I just wrote is falling.
Well, be careful with that because that's already named as falling. So sometimes you might be getting you want to try and make unique names. So like character falling is the better thing for that. To slightly improve this and create your own little branch, you'd go into that macro. There's macros, there's functions as well. So there's a function and then there's a macro. I believe that the difference between a function and a macro is you don't actually need the executing part of what we've done. So we do need it for this situation. But say you've done all that math that we've done to create to calculate the max walk speed. You turn that into a macro. and the only thing coming out of that would be a green line, you don't need to have the execute going through it. It's a way to clean things up. It's a thing. You don't have to worry. But so if you double click and go into the new into the macro that you've created. Cobra, do you still need to know?
Oh, okay. You know what I heard? I heard, Cobra, do you still need dinner tonight? Yes.
I've actually got my dinner waiting for me, and it's getting cold.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I need
It's
to
alright.
dinner.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm
I wanted you to
dying.
get through your lesson.
Sorry.
Whoever's done.
Okay.
What?
Drag off the true.
Drag off the tree. How do you drag off? Yeah.
Yeah, drag off of it and just off of the
Okay.
true. You drag it onto the outputs, but not into the else part. You drag off of it, and then that's how you create another input. That works for a lot of things. So if you create your own custom events, you can just drag a variable onto it, and it will create a thing. So that's how you do that. That's if you go back to the event graph, you can see what you've done. It's now got the else and true. So like,
So this is how you clean stuff up and make it look a little nicer.
yeah, it's how you clean it up and make it look nicer. But maybe there is an instance where you wanted to use this macro for its true potential, not for its else potential. That is that. So you can just click compile and save and do another little playtest, and that should wrap it up for today.
And I jumped
It
in.
works!
Cool.
Oh.
Yes!
So if
Thank
you
you,
see that-
Salam.
And then
you
like
see that it
so
prints-
so my question is, would it be possible to take this like movement acceleration function and then like map it to a key press and then turn that into like a sprint toggle basically?
Precisely. Yep. So we
don't have to go over it now. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, would that be like
Yeah.
a matter of just like setting up a couple little things? Because I think
Like
I
an
understand how
ability.
you do that.
You'd create the input. You'd make it like a shift, and when you press shift, it would change the max walk speeds maximum to whatever the highest thing.
Gotcha.
you know how we
Oh,
cl-
so it'd
we-
be,
you know
it'd
we
be even
clamped?
simpler than that.
You know
Yeah.
how we clamped? You change
Mhm.
that maximum walk speed to like 2,000 instead of 1,200. And
Gotcha.
then when you unpress, it will change it back to 1,200.
Wow. Look at this movement. Game today. It's my first time, I think. I don't know.
Because if you weren't doing it as a if you weren't doing it as a acceleration speed mover, you just have have the pressed to be hitting precisely 2,000 instead of 500. So like you wouldn't set the max walk speed. You'll set the actual walk speed of your character to 1,200, and then
So it'd be even simpler. Gotcha.
yeah, that's how you do a sprint. All it there for today. We got
Good
we made
job.
the ability to run
Yeah.
around. We got through actually about halfway.
Ooh.
I like one more stream.
Providing everyone does their homework next to MMO. Next to the MMO.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. Well, I think Slime, we're gonna have to be here for another 10 streams. 8 hours stream.
Dear God.
In all honesty, with what we have gone through already, I am already seeing some things that I can do.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
good.
starting to put two and two together. It's a lot of this seems like it's kind of what I expected. Is like
I mean-
a lot of this is just like a knowing terminology and menu navigation.
We're putting 2 and 2 together. We're getting 5, but we're putting it together.
It's, at least it's above 3, you know?
See, that 5 is it's not a bug, it's a feature.
The risk I took was calculated, but boy, am I bad at math.
I was trying to teach you, like this wasn't going to be about teaching you how to like make a endless scroller kind of game. There are plenty of tutorials on how to make a game concept, a theme. But I'm more teaching you about how to use the interface itself.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like Fade's
Multi-streaming
walk
niche.
in the Poison Swamp game where it's just endless.
Looks
How do I make walk in the poison swamp?
That's too complex. We'll save it for after the MMO.
No Miyazaki stream
Well-
today.
Well, no, we've already got
After the
some of it
MMO.
with the poison swamp because we know how to walk. We know
We know how to take damage and die.
Yeah. So all we have to do is make it that if we walk too fast, we start taking damage and you die.
Mm.
Poison swamp.
Exactly.
That's what I did when I started learning the visual scripting. Is I went, alright, making enemy AI. And the lecturers are just looking going, why would you want to do that? I'm like, why not?
Because
Why would I not want to push myself?
Anime AI is frustrating with UE. You have to create a tree that kind of like branches out into like a flow graph that like looks for certain conditions, cool downs, all these things, and it's definitely not what we're doing. But, yeah, there are plenty. Okay. That's my advocacy for Unreal Engine is you'll probably find that one person who has covered the exact mechanic that you're trying to implement. There is a lot of documentation of people creating like these, like, to be honest, with the wall jump and the wall run, I did have to like follow a tutorial on how to, you know, write this down to make it like palatable for you folks. And like that's the beauty of Unreal. It's just there's a lot of documentation. When I tried to look into Unity's visual scripting, I was like, I didn't really even know where to begin on looking for the things that you needed to do X thing in Unity, because the documentation isn't as quite as there. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for the lesson.
Thank you for this. This was really fun.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
Have to create a new. We'll have to find a new date for a part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A date? Ooh, woo.
Oh my gosh.
A date with five people.
Five.
Like a count. My brain works like
Jesus, as if my polycule was big enough. My goodness.
Can never be big enough.
It gets hard to manage.
But yeah, Slime, thanks for teaching.
Yeah,
For the
it was
games.
fun to impart knowledge.
This made Unreal look way more
Palatable.
approachable.
Yeah,
palatable.
it's like way more doable. Like I remember, I did touch Unity once when I was a kid, but I was just like, I don't know what's going on, man.
I saw like I see like a little bit of Unreal. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but this made it way more approachable.
I've been doing way more. You've probably seen I've been doing way more Unreal Engine developing streams. So if you want to, if you can catch, then you'll see me like. I try to explain what I'm doing when I'm doing it, so you can see more of like all the different things you can do. Like it becomes like you can create one thing, you can create the whole thing of your game that you want. But again, don't try to create your Call of Duty MMO AAA game. Create small little things, like explore a mechanic. Like I've got like countless prototypes of like I wanted to explore how to run faster. So I create a thing in an environment that complements
And
it.
make an MMORPG.
Got it.
Alright.
Lock in.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to build your feet before you can walk.
Okay, what's our question from Fade? If I saved all, does that mean the project is all saved and you can shut up? Yep, all good. If you save all, it'll probably prompt you to even like ask you to save, if in case you like accidentally hit the close button anyway. So you'll get the prompt to save your thing anyway. I hope you enjoyed watching. Goodbye.
Teach a man how to fish, but a fish can't teach a man